You ever feel like you're being pulled in 100 different directions, just not sure what to believe anymore? Well, today we're diving into a battle as old as time, the clash between divine truth and the deceptions that cause us to wander off course. We're going to see how the knowledge of Christ's truth is presented as really the ultimate anchor in a storm of lies.
But first, to really get a handle on this, we have to start with the basics. What is a lie? It sounds so simple, right? But believe me, the answer we're going to uncover is way more profound than you might think.
You know, most of us think of a lie as just not telling the truth. A broken promise, maybe a little white lie. But biblically, it's a whole different ballgame. A lie isn't just a wrong statement, it's defined as anything that isn't lined up with eternal, divine truth. It's not just an action, it's a fundamental state of being that's out of sync with reality itself. Kind of deep, right? Let's dig in.
So here's our game plan. We'll start by laying out this core conflict. Then we'll go looking for the source of these lies. After that, we'll expose all the different masks that falsehood wears. And don't worry, we'll get to the good part, the way to live in truth and how we can actually use this today.
All right, first up, let's really define the terms of this battle. We got to understand the two opposing forces at play here.
The key here is a Greek word, pseudos. Now, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill fib. It is the absolute polar opposite of aletheia, which is the Greek word for truth. Think of pseudos like a counterfeit dollar. It looks kind of real, it feels kind of real, but it has zero actual value because it's not based on anything genuine. It's a complete fraud.
So if a lie is this fundamental opposition to truth, where did it come from? Well, the scriptures don't just leave it as an abstract idea, they point to a very, very specific origin.
And there it is. This verse from the Gospel of John puts a name and a face to falsehood. It identifies the devil not just as a liar, but as the father of lies, the source code, if you will. So what this does is it completely reframes deception. It's not just a simple human mistake. It's an active spiritual force with a real agenda.
So how does this pseudos actually pop up in our world? It's not always going to be some obvious in-your-face lie. Oh no. Our source material shows us it has a whole family of disguises. Let's unmask a few of them.
First, you've got your false prophets. These are the classic wolves in sheep's clothing. They sound good, they look the part, but their words are meant to do one thing: lead you astray. The advice we're given? Look at the fruit. Do their teachings lead to good things, like love and peace, or do they end up causing division, fear, and just chaos?
Then there are the false apostles. These are the imposters who claim to have spiritual authority they just don't have. They wrap themselves in the credibility of Christ to gain your trust and then lead you down the wrong path.
And then we have the false teachers. These guys are subtle. They don't broadcast their destructive ideas. Instead, they quietly slip them into the conversation, introducing concepts that can slowly, silently, eat away at the very foundation of what you believe.
The source also warns about the most direct and audacious deception of all: false Christs. These are imposters who will literally claim to be the real deal, and they'll even perform incredible signs and wonders to try and trick everyone, even the most faithful. And maybe the most chilling of all, the false brother. This is someone on the inside, someone you trust, someone you consider part of the family, who infiltrates the community just to undermine it from within. It's betrayal from the inside out.
Okay, that was a lot of doom and gloom, I know. But after mapping out all the ways deception can sneak in, the source material gives us a really powerful antidote. It's not just about dodging lies, it's about actively building a life of truth.
So what's the secret weapon against pseudos? Get this, it's another Greek word, anupokritos. It means genuine, sincere, unfeigned. It describes a life with absolutely no hypocrisy, no pretense. What you see is what you get. You could say it is the absolute kryptonite to a life of falsehood.
And this is where it gets really practical and, honestly, beautiful. Anupokritos isn't just some abstract concept. It's a call to action. It's about having unfeigned love, unfeigned faith, unfeigned wisdom. It's about living a life where your actions and your heart are perfectly in sync, where there's no gap between who you are and who you claim to be.
So what makes all that possible? Well, this brings us to the ultimate anchor. The source is crystal clear. The knowledge of the true God in Jesus Christ is the foundation for everything. According to 1 John, knowing Him is what gives you the power to live that sincere, genuine life and the wisdom to see right through all the lies.
Okay, so why does any of this ancient stuff matter to us right here, right now?
how do we actually apply it in a world that feels like it's swimming in deception?
Here's a quick 4-step guide. Step 1. Recognize that deception isn't just a simple untruth, it's a direct challenge to what is real. Step 2. Try to identify the source to figure out the motive behind the lie. Step 3. Keep your eyes peeled for all its different disguises. And finally, Step 4. Cultivate that unapokritos life. Make sincerity and genuineness your goal, and you'll become a force for truth.
So we'll leave you with this to think about. In our age of misinformation, deep fakes, and a million competing stories all screaming for our attention, this ancient framework challenges us to go deeper. It forces us to ask, what is my anchor? What is the foundational, unshakable truth that I can hold on to no matter what?